Happy Water Change Wednesday. Interesting fact. Today, while walking down to the pond where we collected a few Daphnia today, and see some, and there's swimming around, a student was asked me, "Hey, how do you clean your fish tanks?" And so I was like, well, hey, actually I'll be posting a video about that today. So this video will be showing how to do water changes, the differences that a water change makes, both in quantitative data and I guess qualitative data as well. I could test the before and after with test kits or test strips, but that will be for a later video. I don't want to take away all possible content from future videos, so let's just start off here with my oldest tank in the classroom. Currently has, so that's pretty high for one of my tanks. 193, 195 parts per million TDS, which I know some of you out west and some places are saying, hey, that's really low, that's soft water, but for me that's actually kind of high. And my celestial pearl danios, which I gave them some mosquito larvae today. Let me see if they've eaten it at all. Finally, I think they did. Oh no, there's still two back there. I might just feed those to the guppies. Let me just test that. The TDS in there is 157, 158. So that's once again not too bad. It's a little bit higher than what comes out of our sink here. The fry tank with a few snails and some plants. Once again, fry tank TDS is, let me turn it back on here, is 160, 177, 176. So once again, I'm sure so many people are pretty jealous of that actually, but I hope to bring the TDS down by doing these water changes here, and there's currently nothing in there. It's just kind of taking up space in there. I think I'm going to feed them, but anyways, the next shot you will see is of my 20-gallon long tank. That so here you see my 20-gallon long tank, which is currently housing the male guppies that I caught in the wild, except for that one yellow one is actually born and raised in this classroom. You see a poster in the back there that one of my students made for me yesterday for the fish fam, so I thought that was pretty neat. But let's do a TDS test in here. This tank is about, let's see, about 2 weeks old. It's at 132 parts per million, so obviously that's really quite a bit softer. Let's put it all the way in there. It's quite a bit softer, 134, so that's obviously pretty low. I don't expect to see too many changes on that one from before or from right now after the water change. So that'll be in the next segment. Actually, I'll show a water change will be in this next segment. So alright, so you see I have a gravel vac here with a pump, a hand pump right here. You'll see me pumping that, which will then go through, create a siphon to go through this tube right here, which will then go into the sink right here. So just start. I'm only going to film this first tank having the water changed because it's kind of difficult to do a water change with just one hand. So once I feel the water flowing through here pretty easily and see it flowing out in the sink, then I know that it has created a siphon. So basic science says as long as the water level over here stays higher than the exit point, then a siphon will continue. And then I will show you when the siphon is broken, which is really not that exciting, but that's just how you stop it. And all I basically do is I just take about an inch or so off of the top of this tank. I guess water level's in the top, I think from the bottom. I guess I'm doing a gravel vacuum, so picking up some of the fish waste here, and along with it taking some ammonia with it, and make sure that you don't let the water level drop below the level of the heater, because the minimum water level of the heater, because that could cause problems, could cause the heater to break, burst, etc. So we've got to be careful of that. But basically just take some water out until it gets down an inch or so. I do this about 3 to 5 times a week. I'm a much bigger fan of frequent small water changes. The siphon's broken. Of frequent small water changes rather than one big water change. It just tends to be a lot better. I find it's a lot less stress on the fish, and it still keeps the ammonia being removed and keeps the water fresher for them and a lot less stress on them. So hope you enjoyed. Well, I'm not done. I still have one more segment after this, so stay tuned. Alright, so I just topped off the water again. Let's now see if the TDS is lower. It came down by about 4, so it's not a lot, but that also means it's less stress on the fish. So this one came down by 4. This one, I forget what it was exactly, but I think it was like around like 170. I'm gonna press clear here. I really do like this TDS meter, by the way. I'll put a link below, model YLTDS2-A. I have a pouch for it. It's up on my desk, I think. But anyways, I'll post a link below in this video. I do like this TDS meter. 149, I think. I forget what it was before. I'll have to watch the beginning of the video again. But yeah, so that's hopefully lower. If not, then well, you're definitely not getting any. Right, once again, press clear. So let's try this out here. It's in here, and it is at 170. I'm almost positive that 168. Almost positive that one's lower than what it was before. So it is nice. It does have other features. It will also show the conductivity, which is a pretty nice way of determining how healthy or whatever your water is. People in like what's called Flint, Michigan would be having really high numbers on this. Let's put it that way. Be very unsafe to drink. This is degrees Celsius for temperatures of 24.2 degrees. The one thing I can say about this is that 75.5 degrees Fahrenheit for temperature is that the temperature is actually a regular working thermometer. It's not instant like one of those you put in your ear to take your temperature. It does take a little while to finally settle in. What I like to do is get a cup of the water and that just comes up to that level right there, and test the temperature that way. So alright, let's go over to another tank and I'll test the TDS. Alright, so I finally added the water back in this time. Let's see what the TDS is. Currently reading, that doesn't make any sense. Try it again. 139, it's higher, that doesn't make any sense. So right out of the tap, it reads at 120. So this one isn't too far off of what it is right out of the tap, which means it hasn't been set up for very long. It's pretty good evidence of that. As for the accuracy of the TDS meter, I find it to be pretty good because I tested it in distilled water and it read 0. That's a good way that I check the calibration of the TDS. I don't know how to calibrate it other than pressing clear. It's not really a calibration, it's just, I guess, kind of like tearing it or resetting it. So, hope you enjoyed this. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share, and be sure to turn on the notification button so you can be updated with all my newest videos and live streams. I think I'm going to start live streaming on Monday nights at about 9 p.m. Eastern for maybe an hour now. I don't know, it might change to an hour, but be sure to check me out there, and that we can stay updated with all of my changes with my fish tanks. Some changes will be coming soon, and let's see what else. Change will be coming soon, and be sure to follow me on social media. Both Twitter and Instagram are at Mr. Science Geek. Facebook page is facebook.com/Mr. Science Geek, and I post some updates on there as well. So hope you enjoyed it. Stay fishy. Alright, so we're now at the 20-gallon long fish tank. And we'll take the final readings on this one. I think the readings before on the previous video, before the water change. Oh, I haven't added the water in yet. Well, that's a blooper.